everyone. First of all, I would like to apologize for just how absurdly late this is. You also probably noticed there was no intro. I realized that if I was ever going to post this video, I probably wasn't going to get the motivation to record an intro. Therefore, there is not one. There's not an outro either. And yeah, this is extremely late. But here we are. I actually did this bullet journal spread on time and recorded all of the stuff on time. But I did not record the voiceover until right now. It's May 17th today. Hopefully I will post this today and it will be May 17th when this is posted as well. Anyway, I'm very sorry for the lateness of this video. My life has been extremely crazy lately and I just didn't have time. But here we go. For those of you who haven't already noticed, the theme this month is like a tea party theme. This was actually suggested by my cousin. And I had a lot of fun with it. I also used a lot of stuff that I got in my stationery haul, in this video, including my water brush to do watercolor in my bullet journal. I've never done watercolor in my bullet journal before, and it was honestly so much fun. Like, I think I would do that again. It was really, really fun. My color theme was kind of a teal and then a red color, which you will kind of see. This journal, or this spread, was not actually as time-consuming as I expected it to be. It was actually pretty easy. Learning to draw teapots and teacups took me a little while, but after that, I had literally no problems with it. Plus, I just think it turned out so cute. This teal color is from a watercolor kit that I literally haven't used since I was 8. I just found it in a craft bin, and I was like, hey, this could work. That's the color I want. So, I grabbed it. I did a couple of testing swabs in the back of my journal before I recorded this video to make sure that my journal paper could handle watercolor, and it actually handles it just fine. I got a little bit of wrinkly pages when it was drying, but oh well. You can also see the metallic accent that I used this month was bronze, because I just think bronze looks really pretty with this layout. And yeah, I colored in those parts of the teacups black to make it look like there was something inside the cup. Since it's obviously a two-dimensional cup with nothing in it, and I didn't want it to look awkward. But then, okay, you'll see in a minute, but that ended up kind of bleeding a little bit when it was interacting with the water. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I could tell when I was recording it. It bothered me, which is, yeah. I also kept a paper towel on hand while I was recording this, and anytime it got just too much water, I would, pat it with the paper towel and dry it off a little bit. Which actually worked pretty well for me. I kind of really like the look the watercolor gave this, the pastel-y look, because I would not normally get that from my markers and stuff that I use. And yeah, usually I would obviously use markers and pens and stuff, but I ended up kind of using watercolor for most of the coloring in this video, and it actually turned out really cool in my opinion. I like the kind of marbly effect that the watercolor has and the difference in the different colors, and I had to switch watercolor palettes because I was running out of paint. But yeah, I really liked the way that this main spread turned out. It was super duper simple and just really fun to record. It did not actually take me as long as I was expecting it to. And then you can also see, my goals and events page as per usual, which I didn't end up using this month as much as I expected it to. Since it's so far into the month, I can actually tell you guys what I used and didn't use. And I will tell you right now, my habit tracker is going terrible. We're going to try again in June, but apparently breaking the habits in April was enough to make it really hard to start again. But I will talk about that more when we get to my actual habit tracker page. And so also all of this, I decided to do a teacup for goals because goals is usually smaller than events in my personal experience. And you can see I also made a little mini calendar for me to look at. I made it smaller than I usually did because I just wanted to focus more attention on the teacups and teapots and things. I also discovered that I can, in fact, watercolor things and then write over them as long as I don't use a water-soluble pen, which made my life a lot easier when I was doing this spread. You can kind of see the way that I'm doing like a little like blurb of rose-colored watercolor behind this little calendar that I thought just turned out so cute. I think that just kind of enhanced the style of it. I'm very pleased with that. And yeah, my watercolor was not as diluted as I thought it was when I did that bit. And so there's a bright red spot that isn't as red as there, that's more red than the rest of it, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. And then, yeah, I added a little bit. Oh no, I didn't add a little bit more. Okay, I went through and I colored the pots that like turquoisey color that I've been using a lot of because it's just a cute color. And you can see my page got kind of watered down and I was like, eef, I need to get more color on this because it looked really weird. But these actually dried with a lot more coloring than you can see here in the video. They are still a pale turquoise, but that's okay because that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to read my own writing over the top of them. So I was actually pretty pleased with the way that these turned out. I've said pleased like 8 times in the last 3 sentences. Okay, guys, I'm really out of practice. This voiceover might be a whole entire train wreck, and I'm really sorry in advance. Okay, I don't know where I went or what I'm doing or why my hand isn't on the screen. Claire, come back. Is my phone frozen? Okay. I think I will be back. Oh, here we go. Okay. I think I went to rinse out my brush tip. I should have cut that part out, but oh well. And now you can see I'm kind of like going through and just coloring this teal so that it will all be matchy-matchy. I had so much fun with this spread. I also have figured out how to use my water brush pen, sort of, and I really, really like it. Like, it's really convenient for coloring stuff, and because the tip is so flexible, it's really easy to fix it when I got it, like, a little bit sloppy or whatever. For whatever reason. Okay, and then I went through and put a bunch of stamps at the bottom, which I layered them all on top of each other so it kind of looked like just a jumble of leaves and ferns and stuff, which I thought was so cute. And then I went through and marbled in teal and red on those to kind of adjust the color palette there. I did more red than I did teal on here, which isn't something I did basically anywhere else in the spread, so I thought it kind of added a nice contrast to the rest of the month's layout, since the rest of the month's layout highlights teal and this part highlights red. I think you will also see me write in all the numbers and stuff for the days of the month, which would be, hopefully, I think I recorded that. Yes, I did. Okay, so yeah, I went in and just put all of the day's headers and then put numbers in. All the days of the week. I think I used my 0.5 micron for that, but don't quote me on that because I don't actually remember. My habits page was so cute, and I meant to give it so much more attention than I did. Guys, I've been so bad about my habits this month. I'm going to get better. I'm going to do them in June. It's okay. We're going to get better at this. May has just been an utterly chaotic month for me, so restarting all my habits that I've been forgetting, or that I didn't do it all in April, was just kind of a big step for me to take. There has just simply been a lot going on this month. Okie dokie. That's also why it's taking me so long to get this video out, which I really am sorry for, because I know that's kind of a pain. Like I said, I recorded this on time, but I did not post it on time, clearly, since I'm doing the voiceover on May 17th. What in the world? This is the latest I will ever be. I will never be this late again. Oh, I tried to keep that kind of flourishy font consistent throughout my entire layout for this month. I think it worked pretty well. Also, you can't see this, but I did go through and pencil in dates before I did this. Um, and I'm so glad I did because my days are so disorganized and it would have looked like an utter train wreck without me penciling in all of the days. Um, I also ignored the pencil in dates sometimes if I didn't like the layout and I just winged it, which is not recommended. The pens that I'm using are some of the new ones that I got in that stationery haul that I posted at the end of April. And I am absolutely in love with them. They're like really, really soft tipped and they're really fun to write with. Yeah. And then you can see that I went through and put in all of the dates. I used my smallest pen that I had because otherwise the numbers were going to be hard to read. But really, any of my pens would have been better than me just using one of my normal pens. That's a 0.7 tip. Also, I'm just now realizing that I forgot to add in some of the details for the teacup and that teapot, the ones that say workout and routines on them. Oh, look, I fixed that one, but I still haven't fixed the teapot. I wonder if I will fix the teapot. I don't remember. I've been forgetting to use this spread this month, so with everything going on, it was just not a good time to start doing habits again. Oh, look, I fixed it. Good. Okay. I can rest easily now. So my original plan for this spread was that I was just going to fill in the dates with red ink so that it would look like a red thing in the middle of the blue cup, which is kind of the theme we've been doing. Since I haven't actually filled those in, I haven't been doing that, but that was the game plan. So I put in blue all around, but I did not put blue in the over the dates because I wanted to be able to color those in red. So yeah, I cannot believe how late this is. Oh my gosh, the month of May has just flown by for me, and I've had barely any free time. I can't believe it's already the 17th. That's so insane to me. But I just now finished the musical I was in, so I now have way more time on my hands all of a sudden. Yeah. Okay, my habits are stuff you guys have seen before: lotion, floss, plants, routines, face wash, and workouts. So, okay, basically the thing with routines is instead of having 135 million habits, I decided I was just going to write out morning, afternoon, and night routines for myself and try to follow those instead because that just seemed a lot easier. Flossing and lotion are both part of my routines, but I know that for me personally, there's a lot of days where I will floss and lotion, but I won't follow my routines. So I decided to make those two separate things. Plants and workout are both also, actually, everything on here is part of my routines, but there's some days where a certain routine doesn't include one of those things. So I just wanted to have them all as separate things to fill out. Also, if this recording area looks new to you, it is because it is filmed in my new room on my new desk. So that was so exciting for me. I love my new desk. It's very large, and it's ended up being a really nice recording space because I could have a lot of supplies off of camera, which I didn't really have the space for at my old recording space. It was like I had to put them on the floor if I didn't want them on my desk, which wasn't the best. Oh yeah, you can also see I went through and did some of that accent red because I felt like there wasn't enough red in the spread. And of course, the amount of red in that layout depends entirely on how many of my habits I've done, which so far is none. So I'm glad I added that because I definitely needed that. Okay, this other spread is a new spread that one of my friends suggested to me, and it is a color by number. Except I didn't end up doing numbers. I ended up doing dots of color or stripes of color because I couldn't fit numbers in all of the little spaces. Anyway, I did this in a style that makes it look like a great big teapot with a bunch of little designs on it. I had so much fun learning how to draw all of these flowers. If you guys are bored, I highly recommend just Googling how to draw easy flowers and learning how to draw a bunch of cute flowers because it was so much fun. I put vines kind of all along the spout of the teapot. I put some little buds on a couple of the vines just because I thought it looked cute. I also drew that line that led to this little flower that I'm drawing right now. And I overlapped these flowers pretty heavily because I just thought it looked better that way. Also, these roses are like my new addiction. They're so much fun to draw, especially because like you can just keep going forever and ever and ever as long as you want and as big as you want your rose to be. I also used my smallest fine liner for this because I knew there was going to be a lot of really tiny details that were going to be really hard to draw without a super duper fine tip. You can kind of see me like drawing the roses. The roses were my favorite, but I also really enjoyed these daisies that I'm doing now with like a lot of petals. I just thought they turned out cute. For the record, I drew all of these in pencil. I did not in any way, shape, or form just freehand all of this. I drew them in pencil, and it took me forever. And what you're seeing now is literally just me tracing over my outlines. Because I'm just definitely not a good enough artist to do it without my pencils first. Yeah, you'll see I add a lot of roses, but they were literally just so much fun. Like, I've been drawing them on everything since I learned how, because they're really, really, really fun to draw. More vines along the top to kind of just fill that upper space, because I felt like there was a lot of awkward negative space. And then also this rose on the handle, because I just thought that was really cute. Plus, I was having fun drawing roses. I draw a lot of roses in here, but I just thought they looked cute. My original plan was to try to mimic my mushroom stamp on here, but I didn't end up doing that because I couldn't draw a mushroom that looked cute the way I wanted it to, so I didn't do it. I switched to flowers instead. I gotta say, I do not regret it at all, because I think this spread is so cutesy looking. And I haven't colored, I haven't had the time, but I'm really excited to color it, because I think it'll be really fun. You can see I put in a bunch of different colors. I put in their names so that I could refine them easier. And I also went through and colored in all of the flowers' middles to make my life a little bit not so difficult. And then I went through and put little stripes on everything to remind myself what colors I had planned for what things, because I just thought that sounded fun. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I added this spread in place of my anxiety tracker. Because anxiety trackers are just really time consuming, in case you guys didn't know that. And I was just finding that I hadn't actually been filling out my anxiety trackers that much. Even when I had been using my habit trackers, I hadn't been using my anxiety tracker, so I just didn't even bother adding it this time around. So for my mind dump spread this month, I drew a big teapot that I wrote mind on, and then all of my little teacups got each a letter, so that they spelled out dump. My mind dump is pretty consistent and easy. It's basically actually just a doodle space at this point. But yeah, it's pretty tidy looking. I went through and did watercolor on this. I think the only spread I actually didn't use watercolor on this month was my color by number, and that's because that just seemed kind of pointless to me. Like, why would I use watercolor when I'm literally the whole point of this spread is to color it in? But anyways, yeah, that's my mind dump. It's pretty easy. So for my weekly spreads this month, I've been doing, oh yeah, sorry, wait, actually, I have to back it up. Okay, so I'm going to put that, I put that like rose coloring around the word mind because this spread didn't have any red at all, and I felt like it looked off balanced and weird. So I added that in, and then it didn't look off balanced or weird. For my weekly spreads, I know we're not on the weekly spread yet, but I'm still going to talk about it while I color in the M and the P. For my weekly spreads this month, I've been doing teapots and teacups. Since the first week was just a Saturday and a Sunday, I just did teapots because it felt silly to do more than that. But on the other weeks, I've been doing like Monday's a teapot, Tuesday and Wednesday are teacups, and then it'll be like Thursday's a teapot, and Friday and Saturday are teacups, and then Sunday's a teapot, or something like that. Or sometimes Saturday and Sunday are a teapot, and they're just 2 days combined into one so that I have extra space. But I've been making my spots like this and coloring them really pale teal, and then I can actually write over them in pen ink, which is really fun. Okay, so since I've already talked about this, I'm going to do what I would normally do in my outro, which is say that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'm so sorry this is late. You guys can give me ideas for June, but I already have an idea, so they would have to beat out the idea in my head. Which I wish you best of luck with, because I'm pretty excited about my June layout. My video for June will likely be either really, really early or really, really late, because we're going on vacation right around there. So that's, yeah, it'll probably be really early or really late. And I can't actually tell you which one yet, because I don't know yet. Hopefully it will not be the 17th late. But I think that's all. So I hope to see you guys in June, and have a lovely day. Bye.